Wheezy 5'5", K. Dot 5'5", Bruno Mars 5'5", Al Pacino 5'7", El Mencho 5'7" to 5'8", Floyd Mayweather 5'8", Bruce Lee 5'8". Yet, these men dominated what they did and became super confident because they had years in the field and had evidence to go on. They all had spouses, people respected them and appreciated what they have done till this day. The average height on this planet is 5'9" for a man. If you are insecure for being short, then in this video I'm going to convince you why you might have an advantage in this world. So let's begin. Nowadays it's all about, oh, you have to be 9 foot, jacked with curly hair, blue eyes, absolute expert in finance, science and medicine, having 200 years of experience under your belt to be taken serious in the dating market. Oh yeah, don't forget you need to make $200 trillion annually, then I will say yes to you. I get it. It's really tough out there, I get it. The more I get older, the more I realize that looks and height is just not enough. You need to bring more to the table. I know this sounds so crazy, but let me explain. What's good of being an attractive man if you don't have basic hygiene, dressed terribly, awkward, can't form a conversation, and have a terrible diet, barely going to the gym, constantly going for nights out? It might work for that guy today, but at some point it will die off. It feels comfortable today, but tomorrow you will pay the price. Years of that and you will age terribly. We will see how you look at 30, 35 years old. If there is one thing that I believe about male journey is men age like fine wine, which is completely under your control. It don't matter if you look like Jeremy Meeks or absolutely unattractive. You could do all the looks maxing stuff minus the drugs and absolutely smashing your bones with a hammer to the max. So where am I going with this? My point is, if you are under the average male height, you need to bring substitutes to the table which is under your control, and I will show you examples of people shortly to illustrate my point. Examples I can give you is getting in good shape, not like an absolute extreme bodybuilder, but having good amount of muscles on you. So at the end of the day, clothes fit well on your body. Being under 15% body fat helps a lot. Maybe being 75 kg, which in my opinion is good weight. Smelling good, good fashion, well groomed, increasing your income, having assets, maturity, professionalism, and great communication skills. This is all under your control to improve. Now moving on to the examples that I want to share with you, which is Michael B. Jordan, Drake, King 68 the Great. They all had to go through a process despite being above the average male height to improve their dating life. If you look at the pictures of how they looked before to how they look now, if you look at, for example, King 68 old interview in 2008, which I will link below, his face was puffy and his communication skills needed improving, so as his body language. That's a man who realized, okay, I need to go through a process. I need to put the work here. Yeah, I'm 6'8", but it's not enough. And you could see now he looks way better than before, being at the right age right now. That's a man that had to go through a process at some point. I think I could be wrong. I think he's in his late 30s. Now, if you look at Michael B. Jordan, another great example, yeah, he's 6 foot, but look at the difference in both of the pictures that I'm going to show you guys shortly or even now. That's a man who had to go through a process mainly with fitness and adding on top the professionalism, maturity, clean look, and the career field as well, which set him up well for early to mid 30s and beyond. Another example that I can give you is Drake. You look at him young, he's clean shaven, skinny, and he has okay fashion, to then putting on more weight, growing a beard, having exclusive assets. So when women look at his life and who he has become, they want to be a part of his life because he became rare later on in his life, which took time and more attractive. Drake is a prime example of a guy who had to build himself up. And I mean, build himself up, and you guys can apply the same blueprint with the help of money. All of these guys I mentioned above realize that they need to bring in substitutes. The height by itself is not enough. It really isn't. They had to go for a fitness transformation, grow out a beard, grow out their hair, improve their skin, acquire assets, improve communication, which even attractive men have to do is, well, it don't matter who you are, you have to improve your communication skills to get what you want out of life, and most importantly dating, that's in relation with this video. Becoming mature, being professional and charismatic. All of these guys that I mentioned above realized this at some point. If you look at Bruce Lee, who was close to 5'8", a lot of women found him attractive because he looked good due to his training and diet. He had the physique that a lot of women just find attractive, slightly leaning towards the athletic side, ranging from 59 to 64 kg. And I believe if Bruce Lee was alive in 2026, he would have no problems when it comes to dating because of just the way he looks. I think that a lot of women from different ethnicities find a guy like that very attractive. Now, if there is one thing that I learned about women is they want safety and predictability. A tall and attractive man, yeah, he probably is a superstar in bed. I could show him off to my friends and he's fun to be around, makes me feel good, which massively boosts my confidence. But believe me, it doesn't last long. If he ain't maintaining his looks or keeping up with everything to be a part, then at 30, 35 or 40, he will be declining. Where women at some point in their 20s are like, okay, I need a man who has assets such as a family car, comfortable home to store children in a safe neighborhood. He needs to be professional, doing things, has a high paying job or a successful business, mature so he is aware that he won't embarrass me in front of my family and friends, and not staying in the house fucking playing video games or just rotting inside his room. All of this, guys, which I've been repeating myself, is in your control. Now, for example, Lil Wayne. I remember watching the interview Trina did with DJ Vlad, which I think at one point Trina was Lil Wayne's wife. And someone commented below in relation to women having positive experiences with Wayne, which I will show you a screenshot of if you want to take a look. And Trina herself said positive things about him. Kareen Stevens saying that she will never stop seeing Wayne. I don't know if that's the case now, maybe changed. But this guy had a different look from others. The work ethic, the confidence to stand out despite short height. And I remember watching Fireman music video from Carter 2 album, and this guy just had the look that no other rapper had at the time. It was just different. Another example is the Millie music video, which I don't know if it's true, but at the time I think hip hop was dying and I think Jay-Z was leaving the game at that point, and Wayne was releasing music that was vastly different to what was out at the time, which shows this man was super confident and willing to go the other way despite the state of the music industry, which these kinds of traits turn women on. You don't need to be above average height to showcase these traits. All of you can apply the same mentality, perhaps not the level Wayne did or with the resources he had, but this is all in your control. It's not one size fits all. Every one of you has something in you that can attract women. You just have to be creative, deal with the cards you have in front of you, think outside the box, focus on what you can control, and bring in substitutes which I mentioned earlier with examples to make up for your height. Now me, I'm 6 foot on the dot, which shows on my medical summary, and I myself feel short. I've seen tall women or the same height as me consistently in Vietnam, UK, and Malaysia. I realized that it's pointless of me feeling insecure because it's a never-ending cycle and the mountain is always moving. So fuck it, I would rather control what I can't control despite the challenges I face to better my odds. To summarize everything, I feel as though the guys that I mentioned in the intro probably had crippling chip on their shoulder. I'm talking about the guys that are below average height. So they had to prove themselves, otherwise nothing will be given to them. We all know that guy maybe we seen online or in person, that well above average Chad that easily gets girls. But for the guys that I mentioned who are below average height, had to bring in the substitutes to have the same outcome as a tall superstar. In other words, they had to put years of work in to prevent disadvantages, mainly focusing on their work to blossom in other aspects to gain respect and confidence. We all know that short guys are seen as pushovers to others and not seen as authority or who women want to be with romantically. Here's my point. Because of the feedback they got from society, it motivated them to put things together until their time came. You know that saying from Scarface, every dog has its day. We all certainly do sooner or later. So if you are short, I hope this video gave you optimism and understanding that you have to put effort in, increase your income, put things in place, and you have to bring substitutes to improve your dating options, as I just don't see other ways around it. As I touched on earlier, yeah, the tall, attractive guy has it easier, but if he doesn't focus on going to the gym, having a healthy diet, and all he does is drink all the time, in other words, staying complacent, it's predicted that later on in his life he will decline because he needs to maintain that, as it won't last long. So for you short guys, going on to my second point, you have to focus on maintenance because just like a car, you will decline. Now, I know in the comments I'm going to get backlash. Oh, you don't know how hard it is for short guys. I'm invincible. Life is on hard max and I'm cooked. Just stop. Please stop. Whether guys are aware of it or not, but people work hard to rise up in the world simply to attract women, whether in the corporate or business world. One thing that feels amazing in life is being around women due to energy and physical appeal. That soft presence is beautiful and comforting, especially when women like to be around you. Don't let the internet, society, or the current world convince you that you shouldn't strive for that because you can't become that person. It's just a choice. So it's not doomsday coming from a guy that's actively outside participating in the world rather than rotting inside my room. Internet reality is completely different to actual reality. It motivates me to strive for that, to consistently be around women because I need it. It makes me feel good and it helps my mind. But yeah, I feel like I've said everything I needed to say. I hope this video helped you guys, but for now, take care everyone.